Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Mr. Squire's Civics and Economics page. So, last week we covered CE 8A through C, which focused on local government. This week we'll be focused on CE 9, which focus on media and the role of media. Okay? So, to start off, CE 9A focuses on the impact of media on public opinion and public policy. Let's go to the essential questions now. The essential question reads, what influence do the media have on public policy and policy makers? Then you have the essential understanding. The essential understanding states the media informs policymakers and influences public policy. Now, let's dig deeper into CE 9, which evaluates the ways that media plays an important role in setting the public agenda. How many ways does media play an important role in setting the public agenda? 3. There are 3 ways that the media plays an important role in setting the public agenda. The first way is focusing public attention on selected issues. And this can be issues like police brutality, unemployment, and things of that nature. The next way media plays a role in setting the public agenda is offering a forum in which opposing viewpoints are communicated. And a forum is pretty much like a debate. And in a debate, individuals exchange their viewpoints so that they can clearly understand each other's views. Okay? Then we go to the last way that media sets the public agenda is by holding government officials accountable to the public. Meaning, if you said you were going to do this and then we go back to the media and see that you did not do what you promised, we're going to remind you about those things. The most important thing you also want to remember is that government officials use the media to communicate to the public. Okay? Now that covers everything from CE 9A, which talks about the impact of media on setting the public agenda or public policy. Now we go to CE 9B, which focuses on how individuals and interest groups influence public policy. The essential question for CE 9B is, how do individuals and interest groups influence policy makers? Then the essential understanding is, individuals and interest groups influence public policy. Let's further evaluate that now. The first term we need to know is lobbying. And what lobbying pretty much means is seeking to influence legislators to introduce or vote for or against a bill. Got it? Good. Now, let's go into the ways that individuals influence public policy. How many ways does individuals influence public policies? 3 ways. Correct. there are three ways. The first way is participating in politics, which could be voting, campaigning, or seeking office. Next, you have expressing opinions, which can be done through lobbying, or writing letters or op-ed pieces. Then the last way that individuals influence public policy is through joining interest groups. Individuals that share the same interests on politics can join interest groups so that they can influence public policy, okay? Then we go into the ways interest groups influence public policy. Can you tell me how many ways does interest groups influence public policy? Correct. They also influence public policy three ways as well as individuals. Let's better evaluate that now. The first way that interest groups influence public policy is through identifying issues. The next way that interest groups influence public policy is through making political contributions. And then the last way that interest groups influence public policy is through lobbying government officials. Got it? Good. Now that we have broke down CE9B, which talks about how individuals and interest groups influence public policy, let's go into CE9C, which focuses on the international issues and events that will require policy decisions by local government officials. So, to better understand that, let's first look into the essential question and essential understanding. The essential question states, which international issues and events would require local government officials to act? The essential understanding is local governments may be required to formulate, adopt, and implement public policies in response to international issues and events. To better evaluate that, let's go into those international issues and events now. So, international issues and events that would require policy decisions by local government officials could include the following: public health in the concerns or public health concerns in the event of a pandemic. So pretty much if a outbreak was to take place tomorrow, we would still have the local government such as Emporia to have a quarantine area or have a facility where they would be given vaccinations for that breakout or epidemic if it took place. The next one is public safety in the event of an act of terrorism. So, if pretty much tomorrow we had a explosion take place and it was in the fear of a terrorist attack, they would immediately deploy the National Guard at the state level, and at the national level they would have the Army not declare war but be on look for possible terrorist threats. At the local level, what they would do is they would give out a alert letting people know to be aware that there are possible threats of terrorism taking place, and that will allow people to be fully aware at the local level and act accordingly on the local level. But then the next way, or the next international issue, is economic development policies in response to the global economy. And what that pretty much highlights or means that the local government is responsible with handling international issues with the economy, such as unemployment. For example, unemployment is an international issue, but at the local level, in order to help create some solutions to this issue, we promote job fairs and career fairs to decrease the unemployment rate. Got it? Good. And the last thing you want to know about international issues and events that require policy decisions by the local government officials is that policies are made to also protect the wildlife. Okay? For example, if you are not loitering, but littering, if you are littering, you are forced to pay a fine at the local level. Why? Because protecting the environment is an international issue. We have issues like global warming and things of that nature. So in order to ensure the protection of our environment, we enforce laws. And if those laws are not followed, you are faced with some form of legal consequence. Okay? Got it? Good. Now that we have covered everything from CE9A, which talks about the role of media and influence in public policy and public opinion, all the way down to CE9C, which talks about international issues that require decisions made by local government officials. Okay? Take this time to review your notes so that you can better understand the role of media and its role in public policy. Okay? With that being said, as always, it's your wild and crazy yet loving teacher, Mr. Squire. Peace out.